Hello, hello. Welcome. I imagine that there's a lot of competition for this time slot this morning as everyone's watching the inauguration. But if you want to have your couple windows open so that you can watch this and the inauguration at the same time, you're certainly welcome to do so. For me, being part of doing my practice as the inauguration is happening is the best thing I can possibly do. It's the best service I can render. So we are going to chant in the new president of the United States today. And thank you for those who are joining and participating in this. Let's begin with the Heart Sutra. Uttering the sound of the three states of existence, I enter mystic union of oneness with the entire cosmos. In the three worlds, in the three times, my breath binds the sound. Om. Purifying the body, speech, and mind. I take refuge and invoke the awakened mind of the goddess who knows all and hears all suffering. The blessed Bodhisattva Aryatara, from the deep practices of the heart's perfect wisdom, understanding that the five elements of consciousness were always empty, instructing her student Shariputra, she says, "In this world of forms, Shariputra, all phenomena are empty. Form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Form is not separate from emptiness, and emptiness is not different from form. Always emptiness is the same as phenomena. Potential or actual form and emptiness never separate. So it is for feelings, conceptions, perceptions, and consciousness. All phenomena, Shariputra, have the characteristics of emptiness. They neither die nor take their birth into existence. Neither are improper nor shining with purity. Neither are complete nor deficient in any way wanting. So, Shariputra, in that emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, conception, perception, nor consciousness. There is no seeing, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, nor thought. Neither are there solid forms, sound, fragrance, sensation, nor conceptual phenomena. No circle of sight, nor is there a sphere of consciousness. There is no knowledge nor ignorance. Neither does ignorance get vanquished, nor knowledge voided. No long road into aging and death, and no liberation from it. No causes of suffering nor samsara, no stopping on the journey of joy and suffering. There is no clinging to thoughts nor grasping. There is no attainment of anything, as there's nothing to attain. With blissful practicing of the heart's perfect wisdom, obstructions of mind move clear, and the labyrinthine maze of thought impressions and delusions of duality are liberated. In this way, the blessed Bodhisattva Aryatara enters enlightened transcendence. In the three worlds, all on the Bodhisattva path may practice the heart's perfect wisdom, and in applying it every moment find the nature of mind and enter enlightenment. So understand and see the mantra of the heart's perfect wisdom as the strongest of sorceries, as the most powerful saying of mystical and sacred speech. It is the mantra which smooths over all things, which disperses lies into its light of truth. This mantra liberates all, and it is said like this: Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, buddhi, soha. Gone, gone, crossed over and gone. Gone completely beyond to the far shore. Awakened, and all is good. This ends the heart's perfect wisdom. The astrology for this morning is insane. Really insane. And let's find out what is the message for us, our Sangha, this day to carry us into the next 4 years of this presidency in the United States, and for those who are practicing with us from abroad, to see what's the message that might shape how our nation interacts with yours. White Tara offers liberation. By your quiet listening, you can liberate others from fear. Wouldn't that be an interesting and wonderful change in our society? More people listening. Quietly sitting and focused within, White Tara emanates calm, but it is a dynamic calm, a scintillating power that shifts your perspective and then your life. This is so important, really. Shelby, I'll post a link so you can see it after this. Just keep in mind, everybody, what's happening, and I've said this before, what's happening at the level of government, it is a change, and at the same time, it's not so much of a change. It is a change, but not so much of a change. What is changing is our mindset. We, all of a sudden, in the US, are feeling change, hope, potential, and possibility. When you shift your perspective, it says, you shift your life. White Tara offers liberation from the monsters in our minds and the fears and failures of the heart's wisdom to overcome our human shadow tendencies. Again and again, in a continuous stream, her intention persists to liberate us from the true disease of ignorance of who we really are and what the world really is. If you can connect to that stream and flow with it, you will rise above doubts and insecurities. You will rise above worries and problems, and you will live a long and happy life. White Tara gives us long life. She's the long life goddess, in part because worry depletes our lungta, our life force, our wind horse. And White Tara helps eliminate worry, and then we are not having that feeling of worry siphoning our life force. There are green Taras, red Taras, white Taras, and blue Taras, 21 major forms in all. And they represent womanhood in all of her variety and flavor, from stateswoman, significant, to mother, basketball player, and cashier. All the many ways a woman can be. Interesting that they mentioned this, that she mentioned all like jobs. I don't really think of a woman as defined by her outer accoutrement, like jobs or clothing or fashion or role. But I think it's important that this brings up stateswoman because of Kamala Harris today. White Tara is quiet compassion. She sits in a diamond lotus posture, both legs folded up beneath her, quietly centered on her intention to give. We have spent 4 years in this country in a heightened state of reaction. And instead of response, it's mostly been reaction. And that sense of urgency, emergency, that sense of dissatisfaction, fear, unhappiness that comes from being in that state of reaction has depleted our life force. It has taken us down a little bit. And so we have a duty today and for the next 4 years to learn to be in a non-reactive and contemplative state so that we can really pay attention. If somebody is saying something that we don't like, we don't have to have an opinion about it. We can just be like, oh, okay, not my bag. If somebody is creating a space of lack of safety or a space of threat, then we have to do something about it. We have to set a boundary, walk away, make an appeal, or do something else. But we're not here on earth to just always be like ping pong balls reacting to each other. That is not who we are. We are here on earth to presence the divine, and our worries and our anxieties and our conflicts and our reactions pull us away from presencing the divine. So today, let's make the commitment Sangha together. Whoever's watching this, whenever you watch this, now, later, whenever. Let's make the commitment together to be the embodiment of White Tara over the next 4 years. That if somebody has something to say, even if we disagree, we will listen. That if we disagree, sometimes we'll speak about it and sometimes we'll leave well enough alone. That when we see somebody hurting others, creating harm, we will speak to that. We will be there. We will hold space for those who are harmed. We will sit by them. We will listen to their grievances. We will be patient with them. And in doing so, and this one to me is the most important, we will find ways to give some compassion, light, joy, love, and understanding to others so that their hearts can heal. Sometimes all it takes is to know that someone is listening to you to change your life. So let's vow to be White Tara. I can see from my own practice over the last 4 years where I might be able to do that in my local community. In my local community, there are a lot of people who embody certain values that I do not agree with. I don't agree with guns at all. I don't agree with capital punishment at all. I don't agree with toxic spiritual positivity at all. I don't agree with anti-science behavior, and I don't agree with only science behavior at all. I've had to learn how to navigate keeping quiet when what someone is saying is offensive to me, but not harmful to the world. I've had to learn to navigate when to speak up and say, thank you, but I need to set a boundary here. I've had to learn how to listen when somebody's complaining about, whatever, and figure out what's underneath their complaint. So what's underneath the complaints of white supremacists? The fear of their own inadequacy and the shame that they carry. Learning to talk to that shame and that fear rather than trying to tangle with them over matters of opinion has gotten me farther than trying to change their opinions. Their opinions are the result of their shame and fear. And their shame and fear is the result of growing up out of touch with what needs to be an equitable, pluralistic, multicultural society. They've grown up and embraced this idea that that is not good. And so their entire opinion stream is based on that fundamental idea that they're holding, which is wrong, but which is rooted in fear and shame. So by being like, well, the statistics don't really bear that out, but I hear that you're feeling anxious about jobs and security for yourself. Why do you feel that way? Learning to be like, I don't really feel like I'm understanding what you're saying completely. Do you think you could break that down a little bit more? And then watching people squirm, that has gotten me further than being like, you are a garbage human and you should just shut up. So I just got a note. Joe Biden was just sworn in. Who are we going to be in the next 4 years? It's not so much about who he's going to be. It's who are we going to be? Let's start now. That's our short bit for today. We'll be back tomorrow with this, if that's what you were here for. Otherwise, those of us who are now here to chant in the new president, let's chant in the new president. We'll begin with 3 prostrations before the Shrine of Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set an intention, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from our practice today. And today, let's hold the entire United States of America. And let's hold everyone in the world who's impacted by the things that happen here. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering for Guan Xiyin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind, and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time, and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence, and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxin Pusa. And in many cases, White Tara and Guanyin are considered similar, maybe even the same. So today, since we drew White Tara's card and we're looking to get at the root of the problems so that they can really be healed and addressed, let's call upon both White Tara and Guanyin with 108 recitations of Namo Guanxin Pusa, awakening within our ability to truly listen. Namo Guanxin Pusa, 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 Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. 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 To learn to sit calmly with and listen to the things that we disagree with, the things that we don't want to hear, the things that we don't like, and to know that those things that we are listening to are not going to be able to disrupt who we are. They're not going to be able to change us. They're only going to be able to help us be more skillful in addressing the problems that exist. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And learning how to do that skillfully is an art. We have to learn to be like, oh, So that's what you think. Okay. Um, hmm. Interesting. I hadn't looked at it that way. Hadn't never even occurred to me to think about it that way. You get a lot of information if you're able just to listen. And the information you get then can be used in a positive way so that you're able to like make intelligent arguments. You're able to say, well, maybe at another time when things aren't as polarized, when things are more calm, you can be like, you said something and it got me thinking, and this is where I landed. And I just wanted to, bring your attention to the fact that a lot of what you're saying sounds like it was rooted in what your parents taught you, or a lot of what you're saying sounds like it's rooted in something that you read, but maybe there are other things that haven't been considered. You have the ability to start to reach someone's heart if they feel like you've listened to them. But if they feel like you're just there for an argument, they're only going to do the one thing that they think you're there to do, which is argue. So if you can start to think about the fact, okay, we've got like millions of people in this country who are white supremacists, who think that gays and lesbians shouldn't have rights, who believe actually that women are second-class citizens. We have millions of people in this country who think this, and not to mention the world, but there's not going to be any fighting with them to get them to change their minds. That is not what's going to change their minds. A fight will not fix this. It will only drive them further into their position, because the minute there's a fight, there's opposition. And the minute there's opposition, there's positions. There can't be opposition without positions. If you can find a way to change that dynamic so that the perceived duality is not what is governing the situation, you have then the capacity to help someone liberate their mind from delusion. Just as you have helped yourself liberate your own mind from delusion more than once in your life. So we're not going to fight it out. We're going to listen, and we're going to find smarter ways of addressing these issues. 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, and with each recitation, may each of these 108 be a seed that blossoms into a path of skillful means at handling conflict, handling cruelty, handling oppression. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshu Wangmo. Om Sosti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings, so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guan Yin in our hearts. Namo Guan Shi Yin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guan Yin, and a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher. Happy New Now. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Bye, YouTube.